What is going on, guys? It is Sean from Seanzviewent, and we have absolutely unprecedented nuclear situations unfolding backstage ahead of before Monday Night Raw tonight. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because the updates are flying in by the minute, and you do not want to miss this one, guys. I can assure you that. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video today. The Elimination Chamber was supposed to be a historic night, but instead it gave us one of the most disastrous, uncomfortable, and heavily booed debuts in the history of the WWE. When Danhausen popped out of a mystery crate, the arena didn't just go silent, they hijacked the show. The negative fan backlash is completely melting down social media as we speak. And right now, less than hours away from Monday Night Raw going live on Netflix, there are two completely conflicting massive rumors leaking out of WWE management regarding Danhausen's fate tonight. Let's get right into the chaos. First, let's talk about the sheer panic backstage happening with the game Triple H and the creative team just hours before Monday Night Raw tonight. My sources and rumors are flying all over X and Reddit today and stating that an emergency rewrite took place early this morning. Originally, Danhausen was supposed to have a 15-minute live promo segment in the middle of the ring tonight to explain his arrival. But after that defining negative reaction at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago, management was reportedly terrified. You have to understand, WWE does not want another situation where the crowd completely turns their back on the product on live television. Gossip from backstage insiders claimed that Triple H literally ripped up the script and completely pulled Danhausen from the broadcast. Some fan theories are even suggesting that Danhausen was told to stay at his hotel and that WWE might just quietly buy out his contract. Again, according to rumor and gossip online. This is a very highly topic debate. It's a highly controversial about Danhausen. Tony Khan has to be sitting back in AEW just laughing his head off right now about the developments and what is going on with Danhausen in the WWE. And speaking of Tony Khan, let's look at what the fans are saying because the theories are wild right now. Looking at the comment section from the community, a shout out to all of you who have been commenting all day as a huge chunk of the WWE universe believes this was a setup. Was this a conspiracy theory floating around that WWE could have potentially set Danhausen up to fail to prove that the internet wrestling community doesn't work in the big leagues? Is this true? Who knows? But the gossip is that Danhausen's camp is furious. And if WWE breaches the contract today, he could literally be back to AEW Dynamite within the next several weeks. Think about that for a moment. Just think about that for a single solitary second. A WWE disastrous debut on Saturday at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago on a night where CM Punk retained the world title, on a night where AJ Lee won her first singles title in almost, 11 years, over 11 years. And now an AEW Dynamite return for Danhausen just as quick as he left. He could be back in AEW just as quick, just as fast. You gotta be kidding me. It would be the biggest humiliation for Triple H this year. But guys, hold on. Hold on to your seats. Make sure you put the pedal to the metal. Make sure that you're sitting down right now because right as everyone was confirming that Danhausen was pulled, a second massive conflicting report has just dropped. And again, this is why we do multiple videos a day to keep you in the know because there are developments, there are changes, there are updates in the WWE. Massive conflicting reports just dropped. According to several leaked rumors from the arena, Danhausen is in the building for Raw tonight. What? But he is not the guy you saw at the Elimination Chamber. He is not the guy. Wait a minute. What do you mean? What are you alluding to? How does this all add up, guys? Is this clickbait? Is this masturbate? What's going on? Triple H is reportedly doubling down, but with a total 180-degree character overhaul of Danhausen. The goofy face paint, gone, deleted. The comedic cursing, dead. The rumors, again, this is not confirmed. Again, things can change. The rumors are stating that Danhausen is being repackaged instantly into a dark, unhinged, violent character to force the crowd to respect him. And how is the WWE going to bribe the furious fans into cheering for Danhausen and to back him to be behind Danhausen in the WWE? Well, by handing him a returning title, a championship coming back into the fold of World Wrestling Entertainment. That's right, viewers, if the rumors stand to be true, if the rumors are even a little bit correct. The rumor mill is exploding with reports that Danhausen will walk out on Raw tonight. He will walk out on Raw tonight holding the resurrected WWE Hardcore Championship. Wow. Now that is volatile. That, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely big. Unbelievable. Danhausen holding the Hardcore title. Do you want to see the Hardcore title return to WWE? Women's champion poses topless to recreate the CM Punk photo. Again, women's champion poses topless to recreate the CM Punk photo. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions on all of that. Guys, you cannot be making this stuff up. The Hardcore title, are they really going to bring back the 24/7 rule with the bloods and the guts just to save Danhausen's career in the WWE? Some fans are speculating that he's going to come out with face paint similar to either Doink the Clown or the classic Sting from WCW. Something absolutely terrifying, and not just laying people out with weapons, and start laying out people with weapons if he does bring back the Hardcore Championship. Now, this creates the ultimate backstage drama. Did Triple H pull him, or is Triple H strapping a rocket to him with the Hardcore Championship? Will he have a new gimmick, a new persona? Will he have a new getup? It is literally a 50-50 split backstage right now on whether the crowd will erupt in cheers for the Hardcore Championship or if they will boo Danhausen out of the building regardless of what he is holding and what he is doing and how Danhausen will ultimately be looking. Also, ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and newsletter, that perfectly sets the stage for the official WWE Raw Preview for tonight, March the 2nd, because outside of the Danhausen drama, this show is going to be incredibly volatile. We have the direct fallout from the Elimination Chamber. We need answers from CM Punk after he completely mocked Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch online with that scandalous leaked photo. We have Randy Orton stating that he wants to go 10 more years and addressing exactly what happened with Drew McIntyre inside the chamber structure itself. Plus, we are officially on the road to WrestleMania 42, and Triple H is going to have to manage a live crowd that is ready to hijack the show at a moment's notice. If you are a wrestling fan, you cannot miss Monday Night Raw tonight on a night where Roman Reigns will absolutely return. Also, we have a massive piece of breaking news that just hit the wire regarding the WWE Hall of Fame 2026, and this one is huge. This one was not expected. This one was very anticipated. It has been years and years in the making. We always questioned if or when it was going to happen. Will the WWE pull the trigger? Will the WWE go all with these two guys? Well, this is huge. For years, there has been absolute nuclear tension between WWE and one of the most dominant, well, you know what? I can drum it up. I can build it up. But they were literally one of the most feared, one of the most dominant tag teams of the 1980s. Demolition, Axe, and Smash. We are talking about a tag team that really set the precedent in the tag team division when tag team wrestling was actually tag team wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. For a long time, these guys were completely blacklisted due to past lawsuits against the company. But the game Triple H is running the show, and he has just officially ended the bad blood, as it was The Undertaker, the Phenom, the Hall of Famer, the legend himself, The Undertaker, that announced that Demolition will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame, and that is not a shame. It has been a long, long time coming. We actually questioned if this day would ever come, if it would ever go down. It was confirmed that Demolition is officially going into the 2026 WWE class of the Hall of Fame. This is now again, you got to understand that this tag team really reinforced. They encapsulated what World Wrestling Entertainment was all about in the 80s for tag team wrestling. This is a legendary 478-day title reign finally getting its respect. The rumors are already flying around about who is going to induct them. Maybe someone from the modern roster to bridge the gap. And you know what? We're just lucky and we're thankful that both Demolition members are still alive and still with us today. This is a remarkable feat, and this is something that needed to happen. It's something that had to happen. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, finally they get the respect that they deserve, even after all the fallouts and all the bad blood and everything that brewed between WWE and Demolition. It has to be recognized what they did for the wrestling business. You had LOD, you had the Legion of Doom, and then there was Demolition. Some called them a knockoff, but they were still dominant, and they were still violent. They were still ferocious in that ring, and they really brought tag team wrestling to a completely different level. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, I have to talk about an absolutely insane viral video that is breaking the internet today. French independent wrestler star Cory, again, French independent wrestler star Cory Zero, a girl, a woman, a female, has been officially hospitalized after taking one of the most terrifying bumps I have ever seen in my life. At the KHAO Wrestling's Volume 1 event yesterday, she took a massive powerbomb from Thiago Monteiro straight off of a venue balcony, plummeting down to the floor below. There was a group of people positioned to catch her, but the impact was absolutely sickening. Fans in attendance were completely in shock. Fortunately, Cory Zero took to social media today to confirm she is hospitalized but in positive spirits, stating that she will be fine and has no intentions of quitting the professional wrestling business even after suffering a gruesome injury such like this. It is a terrifying match to watch, but we are all sending our wishes for a speedy recovery to Cory Zero. We are going to find out the truth about Danhausen on Monday Night Raw in just a few hours. Is he going to stay the same as is? Is he going to bring in the hardcore title? Is the WWE going to switch him in another direction, another persona, another character, another name? I don't know. We have Demolition locked into the Hall of Fame, and the indie wrestling scene is putting their bodies on the line. I need to know exactly where you guys stand. Drop a comment right now. Should the WWE fire Danhausen, or do you want to see the violence of the Hardcore Championship overhaul tonight on Raw? However, if that doesn't happen tonight, if it doesn't happen on Raw tonight, that's not to say it won't ever happen. Sound off below. I read every comment. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Seanzview so we can keep growing the channel. Now, we also have to talk about this one, ladies and gentlemen. With Danhausen's disastrous Elimination Chamber debut, conflicting reports of an emergency script rewrite for Raw, fan theories of an AEW return and Tony Khan's reaction, the massive rumor of the WWE Hardcore title returning, the official Raw preview for tonight, Demolition officially announced for the Hall of Fame, and French wrestler Cory Zero hospitalized after a viral balcony powerbomb. That is just the beginning, viewers. That, again, we've covered this. We went all this, the highlights, the notes. It has to be noted. But again, we got more news and rumors that we got to get into, that we got to secure, as Matt Riddle shoves the so-called badass construction worker in the head during a ringside altercation. Yes, because this so-called construction worker has been just ranting and raving, talking down Brock Lesnar, talking down Matt Riddle, talking down multiple other superstars in the industry, and he finally got what was coming to him. This guy just didn't see it coming, and Matt Riddle pie-faced him. Matt Riddle showed him that you don't mess with professional wrestlers. Now, do you think, viewers, as big as this is, as monumental as this is, do you think Demolition deserves the recognition of being in the Hall of Fame? Liv Morgan's stalker trial delayed again as court orders psychological exam for the stalker of Liv Morgan. And we all know Liv Morgan will be headlining, main eventing WrestleMania 42 in the women's division for the Women's World Championship. AJ Lee recreates CM Punk's iconic fridge photo after women's IC title win. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news as it concerns the WWE Hall of Fame. The WWE has confirmed the date, the venue, and the ticket info for the 2026 Hall of Fame ceremony, which will see Stephanie McMahon, AJ Styles, and now Demolition enshrined in the hallowed halls of the Hall of Fame in the WWE. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your emotions on all of that, because this is where we are at officially. Also, Jack Swagger is coming back. Jack Hager, whatever you want to call him, AEW, WWE, Jack Swagger, Jack Hager. He's a former world champion. But he's not returning to wrestling. WWE star, former AEW competitor, Jack Swagger, Jack Hager, signed with UFC's Power Slap. Fan accuses WWE of confiscating Let Women's main event sign at Elimination Chamber. Again, WWE, did they confiscate a sign that said, Let Women main event? I think WWE has allowed the woman to main event more than once on Raw, on SmackDown, on PLEs, Hell in the Cells, Elimination Chambers. I think the WWE has more than gave the woman their fair share of the main event in the WWE, in my estimation. I mean, the girls, the ladies, the women, the divas of the WWE have never had this kind of standout, unlike we are seeing right here and right now. If there was ever a time to be a girl, a woman, a female in the women's division, and to ever have more time than you've ever had, now is that time. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, indeed, it is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here on Seanzviewent Entertainment, you can expect the unexpected. Anything can happen on any given episode. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to just leave you with this. Because there's a lot more to come. I have a lot more blockbuster updates. I have a lot more to get to you. Is the WWE still in a huge panic about WrestleMania 42? There's been a lot of confliction, a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendo about WWE potentially, because of the ticket sales being that bad and that disastrous and the tickets being so much money, too much money, that the WWE may have to pivot and go back into an arena or a smaller venue. Now, what would you think about that? I mean, that would be big. That would be huge. But it does not look very likely that the WWE would move everything, especially with the Hall of Fame Demolition going in, AJ Styles going in, all these different things going on. There's a lot happening. But ladies and gentlemen, all I got to know is subscribe, click the bell. I will be here a little bit later on for more news and rumors in the WWE. Subscribe.